Hi everybody, welcome again to Wingman Wisdom. I am the RV Wingman. Today is Sunday, April the 2nd. Thank you for joining me today. On Sundays, as you may know, I talk about just about anything, whatever comes to my mind, and try to get back to as many people as I can. Try to stick to the subject of RVing, but not always. Today I'm going to talk, about my old trip a couple months ago, maybe 3 months ago, to Popeye's Chicken. You may or may not remember that story. I'm going to put a link to that video down below. But I was trying to get a hold. I had a really bad experience at Popeye's. And I was so frustrated because I couldn't find the franchisee. I looked all around in the store for any kind of a notice, if you have a complaint, do this. I went online. Long story short, I was very, very frustrated. And I just communicated that on a video. I ended up getting some communication back from Popeye's. I got a $5 coupon from them instead of talking to me about the issue that I saw at one of their locations. I also got a phone call. I'm going to play it in just a second. By the way, if you would, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and make a comment down below. I try to respond to as many people as I can. If you click the word more in the description below of this video, it will open up. You'll see all the RV dealers that I do consulting work with, as I call them, RV dealers that I trust. You'll get a link to where I buy my shirts, just like you can buy them. You get a discount if you use a special keyword. So click the word more in the description down below. So what did people think of that Popeye's Chicken video? You're going to like this one. Here we go.
Hi, Alan. This is Rod from Minnesota. I was calling about your video about what happened at Popeye's. Well, I, too, am an angry white male with toxic masculinity, so...
An angry white male with toxic masculinity. Don't you love it? Don't you love being pegged as an angry whatever you are? I hate it. I am so tired of having my nose rubbed into how bad I am and how inclusive I need to be and be open-minded about everything. I'm just sick and tired of it. In fact, I'm going to finish today's video with something that I read online, and I'm going to show it to you and just see if you agree with me. So let's continue on with what my fellow angry white toxic male has to say.
I typically agree with you on everything. But I think you went the wrong way on this thing. You see, you called the corporate office, and they don't care about what you have to say, as it was made clear by nobody answering the phone. You should find out who the franchisee is, the actual owner of the store. He will care. It could be posted on a plaque on the wall for everybody to see. Better yet, make that a-hole tell you who it is. Second thing is that businesses are very reluctant to fire anyone these days because hiring is next to impossible. The third thing is that maybe this a-hole is the franchisee, in which case it's time to stop going there.
Yeah, it was a bad experience, and I got to tell you, before I did this video earlier today, I went by Popeye's just to double check, Rod, someplace in a restaurant. Don't you? I think it's a law. I mean, that if you have a complaint, here's who the franchisee is, here's how to contact them. It wasn't there. It wasn't there when the incident happened, and it wasn't there today. So anyway, thank you so much. Hopefully I don't come across as too angry of a toxic male. I try to come across sometimes as a passionate guy who is pretty opinionated, but I don't want to be toxic. I promise I don't. All right, so shortly after my Popeye's Chicken experience, and you're going to think that I just nag and whine and bitch all the time and complain to everybody. I promise I don't. But if it's really bad, I'm going to take action. So I was at a Cracker Barrel shortly after the Popeyes thing. And I love Cracker Barrel. And it was terrible. It was terrible. It was like 11 o'clock in the morning. There was almost nobody there. They had just started serving lunch. I'm all by myself. And it took forever to get the service. I understand. I was in no hurry. But it just took a long, long time. And when the food finally came, it was like fried catfish, okra, and something else. It was spinach or green beans. It was something really simple. It stunk. I mean, I'd smell the smell before, but I couldn't. It's like, ugh. And so I thought, man, it's something, they can't be serving bad food, can they? Anyway, I ended up eating, and it took forever to get. I'm thinking, I got to take this home. I got to take it to my wife and have her smell it. I've smelled this smell before and tasting it. And now that taste is coming up. You know what? I know this is kind of gross. Just bear with me. I'm thinking, oh my God, I got another Popeyes deal. So I was not happy. The manager was over there, just standing there watching people, and the waitress, who, I don't know where she was, had to get somebody else to get a to-go thing. So I took the to-go box with the stinky, rancid food in it. It was like $15, $17, not a big deal. I didn't want my money back, didn't say anything. I just thought, just shut up, because nobody seems to care. You couldn't walk past my table without going, that can't be that guy sitting there. That's got to be the food. But nobody else could tell. So I leave with the food, get home, my wife smells it. She goes, oh my God, that's rancid grease. That's what it is. I'd smelled that before. That's old grease. It's rancid. Okay. So in the meantime, going home, I tried to call Cracker Barrel. I called the corporate office and I couldn't get anybody. Go figure. So I went online, gave my experience. And let me show you how ugly I was to the people at Cracker Barrel. You tell me if you think this was ugly. It says, I have always been a fan of Cracker Barrel and have enjoyed the dining experience, food, waitstaff, ambiance, etc. We frequent the one day our home in San Antonio every few weeks. That said, it was beyond awful yesterday, which this was back in February, at your Baton Rouge location. I was on a business trip, dined solo. Continues on, it says, I did not say anything to the staff. I did not ask for the manager. I felt as I had waited long enough, if the cooks in the back were so clueless and the manager was so clueless, that all I would do is make them upset. So I left. I then spent 15 minutes on the phone trying to speak with a human being at Cracker Barrel, only to learn that you put me in the corporate wheel of automation where connecting with a human being was impossible. Impossible. Every option I chose, and I called at least 4 times. 4 times. Met with another automated response that directed me to your internet website. And it goes on and on. As a business owner, I'm keenly aware of the challenges of finding good help, and I'm keenly aware of corporate America trying to automate everything and forgetting about the value a person-to-person customer service. So yes, I was direct, but I don't think that I was ugly, and I didn't want my money back. That wasn't the whole thing. It was just I want them to know that they were serving food that really tasted bad. It was not like them, because Cracker Barrel, I like Cracker Barrel. And so what happens? I get a form email back. I left my email on the voicemail, sent them a message, and I get a form email back. It says, we'll be back in touch with you in 3 to 5 days. Guess what happened? Have you guessed? I heard back from Cracker Barrel. I did, and it was fantastic. I can't believe I'm saying this. This woman called, and I have one of my cell phones. I won't answer unless I recognize the number. So this number comes up from Tennessee or whatever. And I'm like, okay, let it go to voicemail. And it turned out to be this woman from Cracker Barrel. And her name was Roberta, and she left me a very nice message, and then she sent me an email. She said, good afternoon, sir. I just tried calling you so we can discuss your visit. Please call me. Thank you. They've got a human being that works there. So I called Roberta up, and do you know something? She was the nicest person I had met that day. I mean, probably in weeks. She was not a doormat at all. She said, well, tell me about it. And I told her what had happened, and she was so apologetic, and she owned all of it. All of it. She didn't say, well, maybe you're this and maybe you're that. And, are you trying to get... And at the end of the conversation, she said, sir, could I send you a gift certificate? Would that make things better? And I said, Roberta, I'm not asking for anything. I just appreciate you for taking my call at Cracker Barrel, for calling me back, for wanting to hear my story. She said, well, I'm going to send you a gift card anyway. So, okay. I was most grateful for that. My point of this whole video is there are people who care. Oftentimes I bitch and complain and criticize and moan about corporate America and how we get caught in the wheel of automation. We cannot ever get a human being. But when you finally get one, doesn't it feel good? It felt good to me to get Roberta. I don't know Roberta. I'll probably never talk to her again. But she was a caring, attentive human being who cared. And that matters to me. I do business with people that care. They can't care about every single nitpicky little thing, but if you become a good customer, they will become a good dealer. It's funny how that whole thing works. So I'm not always what did he say? A toxic white male with toxic masculinity. I'm not sure. Anyway, okay, so I want to finish this today with this little thing that I read on the internet. I'm going to bring it up here in just a second, and I want to know what you think about it. And my point is that I am so sick and tired of being told what I'm supposed to think. I'm supposed to be open-minded to everything and everyone. And if you have any opinions that are not inclusive of everybody, then you're a bad person. And I don't believe that's true. I feel like I'm having my nose rubbed in it. When I was a kid and my parents would get a dog and we wouldn't take him outside and the dog would go, my dad would rub the dog's nose down and no. I felt like that's the way it's for us, for people like you, for me. We're having our nose rubbed. We're forced to deal with something that is not, in our view, not normal. Anyway, here it goes. It says, folks, I never cared that you were gay until you started shoving it down my throat. And I never cared what color you were till you started blaming me for your problems. And I never cared about your political affiliation until you started condemning me for mine. I really never even cared where you were born until you wanted to erase my history and blame my ancestors for your problems. And I never even cared if your beliefs were different than mine until you said my beliefs were wrong. But now I care. My patience and tolerance are gone. And I am not alone in feeling like this. There are millions of us who feel like this. It goes on a little bit longer, but my point is, I think that we, some of us, and I'm guilty of it, have been too tolerant for too long to too many people. I know people that have different lifestyles than me, and as long as you don't rub it in my face, I'm not going to rub my beliefs in yours. Can't we mutually respect each other and have differing points of view? I think we are being forced today by the media, by our politicians to pick a side. I've said it a million times, pick a side. And once you pick that side, you better not go over here. I want to pick the right side. And sometimes in the RV world, sometimes the right side is the consumer side. Sometimes it's the dealer and manufacturer side. Most of the time, it's a little bit of both. I try to be honest. That's what Wingman wisdom is all about. It's not just about my opinion because you have a different opinion than I do, and oftentimes is way, way different than mine, and that's okay. I will listen. I will read your words. I'll listen to your voicemail. In fact, my voicemail number, my cell phone number, is down in the description below. When you're there, when you click on that word more, you can also download my free RV report. If you're buying or selling an RV, you got to download this report. It's quite long, but you will learn how to save thousands of dollars and avoid being ripped off by some dealer or some individual. So click the word more. If you can't do that, if you're watching on a television set, you won't be able to do it. But you can go to freervreport.com and then you can, fill out the info in 1 minute, 2 minutes at the most, you'll be able to view and download the free RV report. But I'm going to close by saying this. I hope that here on Wingman Wisdom that you will take what I'm saying in the spirit with which I'm saying it. I'm not trying to pound my opinion, into you. I'm trying to get you to sit back and say, you know what? Maybe that guy's got a point. Maybe a little bit of a point. If I'm 100% off, all the way off, then that's okay. We have an issue. We do. Because I can see many of your points of view. You can be politically on the other extreme than I am. And I can see some of the points that you make. I really can. I may not agree with them, but I can see where you're coming from. Hopefully, you can see where I'm coming from. My name is Alan Warren. They call me the RV Wingman because I try to watch out for people by telling them the truth. Sometimes the truth is not what we want to hear. Sometimes it is bad news. I can smile. You'll find out I'm going to smile a lot in a future video because I've been receiving some very nice emails, complimentary voicemail messages, and it makes me feel good to know that I'm actually connecting with some people. So the question is, am I connecting with you? Drop a comment below. Again, if you like this kind of chat, virtual chat around a campfire, I would love to hear what you have to say. Thank you again for watching. I'm Alan Warren, the RV Wingman. Be safe, have fun, play nice, and don't leave your good manners at home.